Alright, today we are going to talk about the Act of April 10th, 1806. And there was a lot of stuff that involved in this act, but there is a specific piece to it that has to do with coinage, which is very important to the way United States coins are today, and to the way that they will be in the future. And this right here is a copy of the coin part that came off of the U.S. Mint website. So I also have a copy in my hand, and I do know some of it off the top of my head, but I'm going to read you actually word for word what it says on there. And it'll really come into importance when you see things like the Flying Eagle Knowledge is Money episode. You will see things talking about, they got rid of copper large cents and half cents and all those kind of things, and some of what was in that act came back to this 1806 act. So it's very important to know what's in here. So I will read what it says here. It says, Act of April 10th, 1806, regulating the legal tender value of foreign coins in the United States. Because remember, at this point, there was we did have a mint, but it was still very early in its infancy. It wasn't around that long. It was started in 1792, so we were still using British coins, Mexican coins, all these different, well, it would have been Spanish, but all these different areas and regions of coins. So the first paragraph here says, be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that from and after the passage of this act, foreign gold and silver coins shall pass current as money within the United States and be legal tender for the payment of all debts and demands at the several and respective rates following, and not otherwise. So they're talking about coins and rates here is what they're going to be talking about. And this piece right here, this piece in the middle, will tell us all the different, basically it just, as you see right here, this is just all of the different places that they would have come from and what their values would have been, so they would have looked at this. So the gold coins of Great Britain and Portugal of their present standard at the rate of 100 cents for every 27 grains of actual weight. Therefore, the gold coins of France, Spain, and dominions of Spain of their present standard at the rate of 100 cents for every 27 grains and 2/5 of a grain. So those are the different amounts, and it was mostly because of the rate of what coins were and things of that. It says Spanish milled dollars at the rate of 100 cents for each. The actual weight thereof shall not be less than 17 pennyweights and 7 grains, not be less in proportion of the parts of a dollar. So basically they are saying here that a Morgan silver dollar, which would have come after this, would have been equivalent to the milled Spanish dollar. So at that time, milled Spanish dollars were like a dollar coin here. Of course that was a lot of money back then. Then it says crowns of France at the rate of 110 cents for each crown. The actual weight whereof shall not be less than 18 pennyweights and 17 grains, and in proportion of the parts of the crown. So, it's a similar idea with those. And it shall be the duty of the Secretary of the Treasury to cause assays of foreign gold and silver coins made current by this act to be had at the Mint of the United States at least once in every year, and to make report of the results therefore to Congress for the purpose of enabling them to make such alterations in this act as may become requisite from the real standard value of such foreign coins. So what they're saying in this piece is the Secretary of the Treasury would be the one that would oversee this, would make sure that everything is being converted to the right standards. Also, they have to report to Congress, a report of, was it effective? Was it used? Those kind of things. And also, it is saying that if it has to be changed, it can be depending on the market value, basically. Then then the last piece of this big long paragraph, because it's a fairly long paragraph. I'll flip it over to show you the back of it. It then states, and it shall be the duty of the Secretary of Treasury to cause assay on foreign gold and silver coins of the description made current by this act, which shall issue subsequently to the passage of this act, and shall circulate in the United States at the mint aforesaid at least once in every year, to make a report of the result therefore to Congress, for the purpose of enabling Congress to make such coins current, if they shall deem the same to be proper at their real standard value. So what that's saying is, the same ideas. They got to report it to Congress at least once a year. The Secretary of Treasury has to basically say, is it effective? Are these coins going to be good? Those kind of things. And then at the very bottom, appeals the first section of the Act of February 9th of 1793, and suspends operation of the second section of the same Act for 3 years from April of 1806. So it's saying that it changed the Act of 1793. And this act would have stayed in place up until we get into some of those other acts. You'll get into the Act of 1857 and then the Act of 1864. And in the Act of 1857, it removed the half cent from circulation, and it reduced the size of the large cent to the smaller sized Flying Eagle cent. And the other piece of that was this act would no longer be valid, and you can't use foreign coins as circulating currency. What you would do is you would bring those to the mint or to an operating Federal Reserve type system, which they didn't have the Federal Reserve yet, but you would bring them to the feds, and what they would do is they would take the conversion rate that's in here and they would convert that to US dollars, and you would have to use those. The foreign coins would then have been melted. And as far as we know, nobody knows totally for sure. We believe the foreign coins were melted and then were sent through the refiner and were used to make new U.S. coins, so say new silver U.S. coins and gold coins afterwards. So this is the coinage part of the Act of 1806, which is April 10th, 1806. So I really thought that was important to show this, because this is showing that back in the early days, many foreign coins were still valid, and it's very important to know that they are no longer valid. With that, this will end this episode of Law and Money, and I hope you're enjoying these and still staying on the Knowledge is Money series. And we'll see how this goes. So thanks for all the support, and thanks for watching.